Okay, greetings everyone. Just did the video for the schoolhouse, and my buddy Peter came in with Filippo Antonelli from Umbria, who's pouring between 4 or 5 samples. So we're not going to go through them all. What we're going to do is taste 1 or 2 of the wines, one white and one red. But Filippo, tell us about your estate.
Yes, we are in Umbria, in Montefalco, which is right in the middle of Umbria. Umbria is in the center of Italy. Is called Italy's Green Heart because it's landlocked beside Tuscany. We said that Tuscany is beside Umbria, but and so we are quite lucky because we have several indigenous grape variety. The most famous one is maybe Sagrantino, but even we have some whites, and Trebbiano Spoletino is for us a really interesting grape variety from our area, which was almost disappeared. Now there is a lot of interest on this grape variety.
Well, you know, I think I've said this before on video. 10, 12, 13 years ago, Italy was fascinated with Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Merlot, Cabernet, all the international varieties that, you know, France has done very well. And I became super disenfranchised because they weren't embracing their indigenous varieties.
Sure.
And but now that's all changed. And with this Trebbiano, it's not Trebbiano, it's Trebbiano Spoletino. It's specific to your area, to your area.
Sure.
And we just tasted it. We're going to taste it again on air, and it's delicious. It tastes like, to me, it tastes like a mini Chablis.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't know why, but let's taste it.
Unfortunately, the price is not the same.
Yes, yeah. Well, this could be, you know, Ravenovo style one day. So. What can you tell me about this particular white wine?
This is a historical grape variety and is very late in harvest. We harvest in mid of half of October, and historically has been cultivated together with the trees, which was in a very old way. I have a picture here I can show. This is a picture made at the time of my great grandfather.
Which one is it?
Of 1800.
Okay.
Like this.
Right here.
So you see the vine was climbing on the tree together. We say it was married with the tree. Typically maple trees.
Yeah.
And in the middle they were cultivating hay or wheat, and then they were using the leaves of the trees for the cows, for the Chianina cows.
Right.
And then the grapes. So it was
utilizing
not
everything.
Specialized.
Yeah.
Yes. But this was very typical in central Italy.
But you know, you have to use the land to its fullest potential, right? And that's what they did.
Yes. Also in our area, it was not specialized for vines because the farmers, they needed some olive oil, cows,
right,
to do the job instead of the tractors, and to have the meat, and then they needed some wheat for the bread.
Very cool. So they're self-sustaining.
Yeah, sure. So
I get it. I get it. So let's.
So this wine we ferment in the traditional big oak barrels, what we call botti.
Yep.
They are 2,500 liter barrels. In this case, they are from Austrian oak.
Austria is very thick oak, very tight grain.
Yes, but also delicate, not too much tasty. And what is interesting in this wine is the one you can age for several years. We have tasted some Trebbianos made in the 90s.
Yeah.
They're still there, interesting, thanks to the acidity.
Well, there's a very famous producer called Eduardo Valentini who made some Trebbianos that were
in
Abruzzo that were massively expensive, and they tasted like white Burgundy, and they aged for a long time. And this is one. There is a freshness and a nice leafy, I guess, a greenness or an olive.
There are at the same time green notes and yellow notes, fruit of yellow.
Almost a saline quality to it. This is really good for 32 bucks. And it's different. It's not another, not that I don't like Pinot Bianco or Pinot Blanc or anything like that, but it's something different.
Yes.
And this is the key thing about what I'm really finding about the wine business is celebrate the differences, celebrate the small, celebrate the unique, because it just provides you different tasting pleasure as opposed to having the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's not boring. So we're going to taste one reds. Yeah, we're going to taste one red. What should we have?
Maybe the Sagrantino, which is indigenous grape variety.
here?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, you can have this.
So tell us about Sagrantino.
Sagrantino has been produced only in the area of Montefalco. The first documents we have, they are of the 15th century.
So it's just pretty recent then.
Yes, we don't know very much about the origin of this grape. We believe that maybe we are very close to Assisi, which is St. Francis land. So in our area there are still many monasteries of Franciscan friars.
Right.
And the oldest vines we found inside the monasteries. So maybe we believe that they went to Jerusalem to tell St. Francis stories, and they brought back this grape variety in the Middle Age. But there is no official evidence of this.
No official evidence. Well,
It's unique. The DNA is different from all the other grape varieties.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a grape variety with the highest contents in polyphenols. Polyphenols are the muscles of the wine.
the muscles of the wines. And
Yeah.
Sagrantino historically had been a very tannic, awkward grape variety, and tasting some examples about 8 or 9 years ago, it reminded me of California Zinfandel 20 years ago. Never going to come around. Almost out of balance, unrefined tannins, and almost undrinkable. But you know, the reviewers, the journalists, gave them big scores. I'm not too sure why, but anyway. So this.
Yes, but now we are working more and more in the finesse of this wine,
Yeah.
to get the elegance. So I say we work like Michelangelo with the marble, in taking away from the materia of this grape, not adding,
Right.
as a lot of producers they do.
Hard wine. It's not a wine that overtly you can overtly assess it right away. There's a lot of subtleties in here. Almost like Pinot.
Yeah, it has.
There's a little hint of cassis. Peter, what else? I got my buddy Peter over in the corner. What else do you get on this?
Like dense tobacco, almost like a spicy
Yeah.
tobacco. And,
But it's it's super compact. That you can't identify one particular spice. They're really tightly wound together. I like it. I think it's really good. Well, there you have it, guys. So these wines will be in the store. You have agriturismo.
Sure.
You can rent rent your apartment.
Sure. And we have a kitchen where we do cooking classes.
Right here.
And
And
hands-on prepare your
yeah,
homemade pasta, fettuccine, and then enjoy it paired with our wines.
absolutely, of course. Thank you.
you.
Thanks for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.